Accent made this.
What's going on, everyone? This is Joe from BMT coming at you again. And I'm about to go in and actually do this one. I saw this one on my feed and it was in my innate soul to talk about this. I didn't want to let this one slip through. I wanted to talk about this one. I feel like we're on a fire roll here in BMT media. And we got to keep it going. Because I told you that social media knows how to clown the Negro. And they know the exact buttons to press, to push, to say, to sing, to dance, to sell, to talk about, to trigger us. And if we don't call it out for what it is, then they'll keep on doing it. And this right here that we're about to go over is very telling. If you're enjoying that beat in the background, let me make sure I can drop it where you can see where you can get that beat and support the producer who makes that type of beat. You want to go over to Accent Beats. Subscribe to the brother. You can purchase the beat. You can subscribe to him. He has a website and everything. I hear he drops some fire beats. That's why I had to check it out. You can buy his beats. And if you need some good beats for your channel and for you, go over there and support the brother. Support him. The beats are pretty fire. They're really good. You can put them in there. He does all of them, just like the one you hear right now. So. Make sure you check him out. Hit him up. He makes really good beats. And support him. All right. So without further ado, let me get back to it. Like I said. All right. So, where were we? We were talking about Aubrey, aka Drink, Champagne Poppy, as he want to call himself. And we already know Drake is he's pretty used to when it comes to, media and getting into certain things. I would say the secret baby that he had with the porn star and the Pusha T and all that stuff. But it seems like now Drake is getting hit with something else. Not a rapper this time, but by family. And what comes up was an interview that was done by Nick Cannon, which I put it in the description below. The mark time was 4 minutes, and I'm going to play it. It came with Nick Cannon and Dennis Graham, Aubrey's father. And we already know that Drake comes from a colorful background of a black father, a white mother, so we know he's mixed. And he's from, Toronto. And he has a lot of things on his sleeve. Not fitting in with the black people and, different other things going on. And he's had a lot of things that he needed to work out. So in looking at this is something that is very telling that he's dealing with. And what is that? I'm going to play the clip. And I want to know, what's your take on this? How do y'all feel about this? Do y'all feel that either A, because Drake's father Dennis told Nick Cannon in the interview that, why is my son going around saying that there's no that I don't do nothing for him. I was never in his life. I never had his back. Why are you telling that to them, Aubrey? Why are you telling them these lies, man? Like, you know that I was there for you. You know I was always, I had your back. So with that being said, he felt some type of way. Because let's be for real. A lot of black children grew up with the father not in their lives. A lot of black children grew up. Nick Cannon openly opens up and tells Drake's father that, hey, like, I grew up in a single parent household. My mama raised me. He said, what's it like for you? You know what I'm saying? You were supposed to be an artist too. Were you even in Drake's life? I feel like it's a fair question because most people want to know, when you Drake and you rapping about, just you and your mom and all that stuff. And it's no secret. We know that your mom and your dad were never married. So she just got knocked up. But Drake's father says, I was always in my boy's life. I was always calling this boy. I was always checking on him. I was always seeing on him. And he said, Drake, why are you going around telling people that I was never there? Why are you going around telling people that, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna lie. I mean, looking at Young Money, Cash Money millionaires, all of them, we could tell everybody in Young Money, they all come from some kind of broken, trodden background. And let's be for real, that sells. That sells. Dysfunction sells music to the black community. You don't believe me? Then why would Drake be selling that my dad wasn't realistically in my life? I didn't have a father. My father was gone. My father was a deadbeat. It was just me and my mom. Because he understands that black boys empathize with deadbeat dads and fathers that are not in the home. Fathers that are absent. So I had to run to the streets. I had to be the man of the household. Granted, we already could tell when we look at Drake don't fit in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be for real. Most rappers, whenever they take pictures, you don't ever see them take a picture with their daddy, realistically. I mean, majority of the rappers, I've never seen majority of these rappers ever take pictures so much with their father. I mean, you're going to have to show me, but majority of them, they might take a picture of their mom. You know, we had boys saying, mom. We had them, showing all their mamas and stuff. Not a lot of rappers have pictures with their dad. I mean, and we're talking about predominantly street rappers, guys who have credibility of the street. We don't normally see them take no pictures with their daddy. We don't see them rapping music with their father. So I can understand why Drake would have to find some type of way to identify with that black boy. Because he understands that black boy doesn't have a continuation of a father figure in the home. I mean, let's be for real. Why else would he play the card that, you know what? I got to make it seem like my dad was an ain't shit dude. What's good, BK? What's good, BK? Shout out to my mom. I got to make it seem like my dad was an ain't shit dude. I got to show that's part of the black experience, not having a father. Drake knew this. Why do you think most rappers or most people who come in to try to understand the black experience, they never talk about so much the good, but the bad dysfunction that we have going on in the community? Drake knew this. He knew if I was going to get accepted, I got to be dysfunctional. I got to be dysfunctional, jacked up. I can't say I come from a loving home. Ain't nobody want to hear that shit. Ain't nobody want to hear about the good and stuff, or me going out there playing football with my daddy and stuff. Have y'all ever heard Snoop Dogg rap about me and my son having fun, going out there skiing, eating ice cream and shit? You don't hear that many black fathers rapping about the good deeds so much that they do realistically with their son. That's not street code to make that type of praise. The father is the streets, and you are his sons. That's why the correlation of a black functional family home and the streets don't go hand in hand. Aubrey understood that. Aubrey understood that. I can't be talking about no family and love of a mother and a father, whether they in the home or not. I can't be talking about that to these niggas. They ain't want to hear that. They want to hear about booty, getting money, success, dysfunction, me trying to hustle. That's what niggas want to hear. That's what niggas want to feel. These black kids don't understand this. And the ones that the small minority of them that do, they're not popping like the ones who don't. They're outcasts. And see, that shows you the dysfunction of how bad the black family is when it comes to the black boy praising his father. Let me go ahead and play this for y'all. Shout out to everybody who's coming on to the chat. Like the video. I'm gonna shout you out when I can, but y'all know I'm going to try to. This is y'all. We already know we're doing the pre-recording before we upload it on BMT. There you go. This is Nick Cannon. He does a radio show. It's not bad. It's very interesting. The stuff that he walks people into. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's wearing his damn turban, you know, like he always do. But Nick Cannon asked him about being in a single parent home. He asked him about being in a single parent home. That is Dennis. You know what I'm saying? That's Dennis Graham, Drake's father. An aspiring artist. And we're going to break down the conversation. And then I'm going to show you the responded message from Drake. Because I can't say who was lying and who was telling the truth. Because I wasn't there. But this is very telling. Because we ain't gonna front and say, Drake, you have been caught in some lies quite very often. You have been caught as a fraud quite very often. You know what I'm saying? This is Dennis Graham on Clubbing with Stevie Wonder on how he met Drake's mom. This guy, literally, he was trying to get into music. You know what I'm saying? So him, you know, probably hooking up with a white groupie, which was probably Drake's mother. This man spent majority of his time out there chasing his dream of getting music. I'm not going to lie. A lot of black men have purposely chased their dream and abandoned their family. We're not going to lie about that. That is a factual fact, sir.
In Hollywood.
So let me go ahead and get this squared up. I want to make sure I get the time correctly about this. Because I could care less about your journey to Hollywood, nigga. You didn't make it. If you would have made it, then we would have been and heard your tape. I don't care about all that. But I do care about what you and Aubrey, how y'all made an exchange agreement, and he understood. He didn't even try to defend his mantle as a father. And I'm going to break this down for y'all. I'm going to make sure I get it ready. I'm going to get the timing right. Okay, so, all right, y'all. So, we're going to play for y'all the audio of Drake's father going over with Nick Cannon about the hustle of selling to you, majority of you black young boys and men, about the absentee hustle that social media sells to black men. Okay? Let's begin.
I paid him.
You had to. You had to come up off that 5.
No, that was when Young Money signed it, man. I had to give it to him. He won.
Yeah, big time he won. But you won this morning, actually, because, you had a song called That on That we played on Power 106. Yeah. And we allowed the public to vote. We put a Drake song, his Behind Bars freestyle against that. And you won 55% to 45%, man.
I just want to say I won.
Now we have a lot of fun with this, man, but I'm super intrigued to know, like, based off of the relationship, and like I said, maybe it's even a similar relationship with my father, because I know my father like put a lot of values in me early on, but my father wasn't there the entire time. I have a very similar situation to where, my mother was a single mother and had to do a lot on her own. And there was a large amount of time where my father wasn't around. But then obviously me and my pops is super cool now. Do you have to deal with any of that stuff from like the upbringing of Drake, or him kind of living in Toronto without you at times? We hear it in his lyrics sometimes.
I had a conversation with Drake about that. I have always been with Drake. I talk to him, if not every day, every other day.
Wow.
And we really got into a deep conversation about that. I said, Drake, why are you saying all of this different stuff about me, man? Like, this is not cool. And he goes, Dad, it sells records. I said, okay, well, cool.
I wish my dad was that understanding.
Talk about me.
Nah, because there's times I feel like even my dad, who's like one of my guys right now, one of my closest friends, and we've had, different times where even there'd be 6 months I wouldn't speak to my dad, just, as a kid growing up, or, he lived in North Carolina. I lived out here on the West. Right. And as a grown man, I can step back because I'm a father myself now. I can say like, oh man, I understand where my dad was coming from, where he probably wanted to be there. He wanted to spend more time, but he had other children. He was trying to become the man that he is today. So I don't hold any grudges, but then there's certain things where I was like, even as a father who's now, dealing with the unorthodox household, to where I have baby mamas. Right. So I want to be able to speak to my children every day, or even the days where I'm at work or they're moving around, that they feel that their father's presence is there, because it's super important. But I also appreciate the fact that I was allowed to become a man and fix.
So let me stop that right there, because I see Nick Cannon is trying to make sense of this foolishness. This is just how bad the unorthodox of the black home has gotten. Let me say that again. This is just how bad the unorthodoxness of the black home has gotten. Where the black boy is now coming to an understanding now that it's normal that my daddy isn't in the home anymore. That I'm not the only one. Daddy has more kids than me. Daddy's out there, and I might not speak to him for 6 months at a time. And I get what Nick Cannon's saying because I didn't always have my father in the home. I know sometimes I would go months without talking to my dad when my dad was incarcerated, but when he got in the home, you know what I'm saying, I got him as much as I could. But I saw and I understood what Nick Cannon was saying. Because Nick Cannon, I saw he was emotionally a little bit caught into that. But when Drake's father said, why are you telling them all this stuff about me, about how fucked up I am? Why are you saying all this, Drake? And Drake said, Dad, it sells records. You see, the black man is so used to psychologically being beat up and being told he ain't shit that he don't buck against it when somebody is rapping about just how fucked up he is. Because he understands that, hey, I gotta be useful some way. I get it. This is why he don't mind rocking his son's gear, living off his son. And I mean, we're gonna be for real, man. We see this a lot with a lot of young black boys who go into NBA, the NFL, different sports and different careers. And when they start talking about their father, when they start talking about how fucked up their father is, and they'll always talk about the glory of their mama. See, we know just how fucked up that child is. It always starts to show. We can tell by looking at how Aubrey does crazy shit. About his drinking, his spending habits, the way he acts. And I mean, y'all can always say, well, shit, that's his life. Cool. But Aubrey's dad did not buck against and did not care. He understood that selling dysfunction is what sells, especially for black people, especially for males. That's what they want to hear. See, young females hearing it, they understand that's normal for them. Not having a man in the home. So Aubrey telling his dad that his dad was so still enticed into fuck my fatherhood. This is about money. And see, that just showed you. That's why I'm not mad at Aubrey, because Aubrey literally said, Dad, it sells, it makes money, it makes millions of dollars. Why are you complaining? Shut up. And he's most likely like, okay, cool. So long as you're getting paid and I get some money, fine. You can make me. Listen, it's going to be a cold day in fucking hell before I trade my honor as a man, as a father, in for a goddamn paycheck. What that shows me right there is their father-son relationship is fucked up. Because I'll be damned before my son gets on goddamn and on the world stage and be saying how fucked up I am. Nah, fuck that. Hell, even the white bitch, Eminem's mama, had enough sense to sue her son and say, yo, you ain't gonna be talking about me in front of all these motherfuckers. But see, that Negro, that Bo-jigging goddamn Negro, Dennis, he didn't give a fuck about his son clowning him, saying how a deadbeat he is, how he walked out on him, because he knows that that's how the world views his black ass. He understands that that's his role, to be that dysfunctional goddamn platform for his son to step on. And he accepted that. This is how fucked up the black home is. And this is why I tell you right now, this is the type of chaos that the black community is in right now. This is why I don't understand when y'all be saying we need to fix. How do you fix this shit, man? This is what's being sold. Well, this is a message right here, boy. This message. This is a very deep message. Because we're looking at it through the pressure that Aubrey tells her dad to listen. You know what you did. You know how fucked up you are. You know that my mom was nothing more than a goddamn. Why do you think Drake got triggered when doggone Pusha T said your mom still holding the L trying to get with your father? Because see, they knew that his father was always still out there chasing the coattail of his son. His father didn't give a fuck about him until he started making his come up. And Drake was fine with that. He said, so long as I can clown back on you. Nick Cannon pimped himself out, to self-admit crazy lady. Aubrey has a child with a French stripper. I'm not sure I would take any life lesson from these clowns. No, you gotta understand. Through this, these are lessons, Ghost. These are lessons. You can always learn a lesson even from a crackhead. Even from a crackhead, you can learn a lesson. You see, you gotta understand that Nick Cannon only exposed just how fucked up the black male psyche is when it comes to fatherhood. When it comes to the psychological breakdown, where now the black home is normalized that with a black dysfunctional family. Even Nick Cannon even admit that I have baby mamas, that I'm in the fucked up relationship. I keep on choosing women that literally are unruly, that I don't even marry. Nick Cannon married an alcoholic, a woman of dysfunction. Doggone Drake had no problem laying down with a groupie goddamn slut. This is the reality of the black man right now. This is why I say you got to pay attention to these kind of settings, man. Drake understands how fucked up his relationship is with his daddy. That's why he said, listen, we're going to make something of this, at least some money. He said, but I have nothing in common with this Negro but how fucked up. Me trying to sell off that me and my dad, I want to sell and say that you were never in my life. Now, we don't know that if his dad was not in his life. But that's the narrative that Drake sold to y'all. That's what he sold to me. He said, my dad was a deadbeat. My dad wasn't there, really. And you heard his father say, Drake, why are you telling them this? Why are you know you could always have called me. You know you could always have gone by. You know you could always have visited me. And you see, I'm not going to lie. I used to get mad. When I was young, I used to get mad when I used to see other boys get picked up by their father at the football practice. I used to get mad because I didn't have my father. So I would grow angry. I remember a boy, when I did have my father in my life, a boy used to always try to fight me because my dad would always, every time I got out the truck, my dad would always hand me $3. And this boy would always try to take my money. So I would have to always either fight this boy. I would always have to fight this boy because this boy would always try to grab my dollar and I had to chase him and have to go kick his ass. And see, that's the thing about it. What came to Aubrey. We've already seen the picture where he tried to do blackface. We've already seen the picture where he tried to grow a fro. He couldn't grow a fro. Aubrey really didn't have too much in common with black young boys, but the fact that he had a dysfunctional home. And literally he had a father that he could sell to you, black men, that my dad ain't shit. Because you were told that your father ain't shit. So that's what I can sell to y'all. mind you, that Aubrey is in his child's life. Drake is in his child's life. He sees his kid. He's with his kid. But see, this is where we're at now. Now I'm gonna show y'all a tweet. A message from doggone Aubrey, what Drake has to say. And Drake wrote this. Woke up today, so hurt, man. My father will say anything to anyone that's willing to listen to him. It's sad when family gets like this, but what can we really do that the people we are stuck, that the people we are stuck with. Every bar I ever spit was the truth. And the truth is hard for some people to accept. Now, that was 18 hours ago. Again, woke up today, so hurt, man. My father will say anything to anyone that's willing to listen to him. It's sad when family gets like that, like this. But what can we really do that the people we are stuck with? Now, this is from Drake. He's tweeting out that, listen, man, woke up. I heard the interview. My dad told my goddamn Achilles heel about our relationship. Dad, you're supposed to make it seem like you ain't shit, nigga, and that I found you and that I rolled you from the dead, nigga, like Lazarus, and that I'm taking care of you because you broke. Mama needs me. I'm still man of the house. But see, Drake, you talked about in your song that your mama technically didn't want you. That when she even tried to abandon you. See, we ain't gonna forget that Drake in your song, I Want to Be Successful, Drake, your mama did try to abandon you at one time. She tried to abandon you. She knew ain't no coming back from having no black baby. She gonna get with nobody else. Drake's father fucked up that white bitch. And so she's stuck with that goddamn Negro baby. She knew once she went black, she could not go back. Do some preaching tonight. God damn it. That nigga fucked her up. Now she's stuck with that goddamn fuck trophy. And so Drake is hurt because you can't get on no radio and start dissing your dad, can you, Drake? Can you? Because if you retaliate on your father by start bashing him, that means there had to be some type of truth there. That maybe your dad probably was there. Maybe your dad was around. If you got triggered by it, what he said, because we all know if you say certain things about Drake gets triggered and runs to the mic. And he has to clap back. And you see, what happened was Drake, there might be some validation that maybe your dad was there if he could be allowed to be around you. And what went on was after that, you are now dealing with that. You are. We already know Drake don't make the best decisions. We already know he has issues with women. That's why Rihanna got a doggone restraining order on him. That's why he has been getting into trouble with different women. Luckily, he has a good team to cover his ass up. Drake ain't the best when it comes to goddamn dealing with this type of shit. So here we are right now. And right now we're dealing with the fact that Drake, you possibly, just maybe, you got some problems on you, brother. But when we talk about this, we understand that black dysfunction narratives are sold to you, black man. They're sold to you about how to treat your woman, how to go about handling your fellow man, how to go about looking at family, how to go about building yourself up. See, we understand that this is the narrative that is sold to the black boy at a young age, and they understand that this type of demon will eat him alive, but he will attack and kill anything in its sight. And if he says anything about it, he will not be accepted. Drake would have not been accepted if he had shown them that I come from a positive, encouraging family home. Look at it. How many rappers do you see? Let's look at how many rappers do you see that have their father real time in their life that are in the rap game rapping street shit? Jaden Smith? No. Let's try again. Diggy and JJ? Nope. Ice Cube son? His sons, they don't really rap. Diddy's sons? Nope. Jeezy? Nope. Jeezy's son is going to college. Busta Rhymes' son? Nope. Going to college. See, they come from functioning family homes, but notice their kids aren't in the rap game. They're not. But they were. They were rapping about all kind of shit. They were rapping about all kind of things that how fucked up we are. But see, they don't put their kids in them narratives. Why? Because they understand that they use that to climb to where they are to fuck us up. You don't see Method Man. You don't see Wu-Tang. You don't see none of them that have all these damn kids. You don't see their kids in the rap game. Why? Because they understand how much of a putrid filth that shit has fucked up the culture. And you see the problem, black man, is that you don't want to openly admit to say that this shit in our culture is toxic. And it is subconsciously destroying us. But you want to believe that this shit is helping us. You want to believe it's telling a story about you, but it's not. All it's doing is telling you just how fucked up we are as a people. And because we won't actually just actually be honest, say, yo, no more. We don't want this shit to talk about us no more. They're going to keep on having these types of trials on us. They're going to keep on pressuring us with these type of bullshit ass narratives that there aren't any black fathers in the home, that there aren't any functional parent homes, even if they are separated by the home, that we aren't trying to try to do better. They understand that. And they know you, Negro. They know you. This is Joe from BMT. You know what I'm saying? Let me play that audio again. Play the audio again. Oh no.
And figure some things out on my own. And that's like
so let me play that one more time.
I did it without you. Like I have that like that thing where my dad was like, yo, I was
Again, if you want to hear, or listen to the playing of it, I would encourage you to go to the description below. You can listen to the whole interview, and literally within the first 10 minutes, literally they're going to tell you that, listen, this is what you sell to black people, black male and son dysfunction. I'm going to pull up the link. I'm going to put up the picture. and I'm gonna play.
Nine. I paid him.
You had to. You had to come up off that 5.
No, that was when Young Money signed it, man. I had to give it to him. He won.
Yeah, big time he won. But you won this morning actually because you had a song called "That on That" we played on Power 106, and we allowed the public to vote. We put a Drake song, his Behind Bars freestyle against that, and you won 55% to 45%, man.
I just want to say I won.
Now we have a lot of fun with this, man, but I'm super intrigued to know, like, based off of the relationship, and like I said, maybe it's even a similar relationship with my father, because I know my father like put a lot of values in me early on, but my father wasn't there the entire time. I have a very similar situation to where, my mother was a single mother and had to do a lot on her own. And there was a large amount of time where my father wasn't around. But then obviously me and my pops is super cool now. Do you have to deal with any of that stuff from like the upbringing of Drake and him kind of living in Toronto without you at times? We hear it in his lyrics sometimes.
I had a conversation with Drake about that. I have always been with Drake. I talk to him, if not every day, every other day.
Wow.
And we really got into a deep conversation about that. I said, Drake, why are you saying all of this different stuff about me, man? Like, this is not cool. And he goes, Dad, it sells records. I said, okay, well, cool.
I wish my dad was that understanding.
Talk about me.
Nah, because there's times I feel like even my dad, who's like one of my guys right now, one of my closest friends, and we've had different times where even every 6 months I wouldn't speak to my dad, just as a kid.
So there you have it. It sells records. Black male father and son dysfunction sells records. And it makes you think that that's the best way for you to be included or absorbed into the culture. Black male father and son dysfunction. And nobody's going to check that goddamn family dynamic. Nobody's going to get into it with that black woman. Nobody's going to say shit about how bad it is in the community. But we have a very bad dysfunction with the black family dysfunction of absentee fathers, that our fathers, we need to make sure our fathers are still in the home. Like I said, that's all I got to say. I'm going to see y'all guys later. Thank y'all for the support. Like the video, subscribe. I'm going to do an upload on BMT. I'm about to go.